the Shogun. Understand that I don't bow to no one. If they thinking that I do, let me know some. You looking up at the Shogun. Don't be surprised when I'm finna justify. Do not test me, little dog, you don't know none. You looking up at the Shogun. Never satisfied.
Cartel, my people, my babies, my dogs, what's going on with y'all boys, man? It's your boy Golden Ghost, and welcome back to the Golden Ghost Cartel. And right now, what you're looking at, your eyes do not deceive you. This is the resurgence of Elden Ring PvP. Upload 99 to be exact with you. If you guys check the Elden Ring playlist that I have, we're at 98. This is 99. Meaning that 100th will begin the resurgence, or as you guys could call it, a season 2 of our Elden Ring PvP content on this channel, bro. That being said, this isn't going to be one of those. This is actually going to be something a little different, as you guys have already told by the title. This is going to be a nice little comprehensive guide for you guys, bro. Not nothing too crazy, not nothing too advanced. I just wanted something that can help you grow your overall skill that's universal to everybody. So it doesn't matter what build you're using, it doesn't matter what weapon you're using. This is stuff that you should be able to apply to any build that you have. I'm not going to tell you to choose a specific build because it's OP, or pick a specific thing that because it's OP. I'm going to teach you, or I'm going to show you things that you can apply to your game plan, so that way you can end up with more victories than you do defeats whenever you're jumping in these PvP matches, bro. So, and these are just kind of like concepts that are like, I guess you could say for like people that are like more on the like beginner side of the PvP scene and stuff like that, because if you have some idea of what you're doing, a lot of this is self-explanatory, but I'm still going to explain some of these things to you anyway. So I'm going to be showing a lot of my own clips for examples whenever I want to segue into examples for you guys, as to what you guys can do to actually improve yourself, which actually leads into my very first tip. My very first tip is, do not let these L's that you take get to your head. If you're somebody that's losing a lot and losing a lot of these games, do not let them get to your head. Let's be clear about one thing. This is not a pure on fighting game, even though there is fighting game elements in the PvP, which is why I enjoy the PvP the way I do. This isn't, you're not getting no ranks, you're not losing anything, you're not gaining anything. The only thing you're gaining is skill from playing these fights, bro. Do not let these things get the best of you. You do not want to be that guy. You do not want to be that guy that smashed your controller and now you have to spend $70 on a controller in about a match online that doesn't even mean anything. You're not even, there's literally nothing that you gain from losing to somebody. You know, there's nothing you gain, there's nothing you lose from losing to somebody outside of the experience and the skill that you get. Try not to. I know everybody's not perfect. I know some people get angry when they lose. I get angry when I lose sometimes. It is what it is, but try to keep yourself composed. And that's another thing. The less composed you are, the worse you're gonna do later on. So try not to. My next little tip that I have for you guys, bro, speaking of doing stuff that is like irrational and stuff that can cost you, one thing that does happen a lot that I see is panic rolling, bro. You have to stop panic rolling. When you feel like you're on the back foot, bro, and somebody sees you rolling, they're going to roll catch you, bro. There's two types of attacks on this game that are OD. You feel me? You take notes. There are two types of attacks that are OD. The first one is jumping attacks. Jumping attacks have a crazy amount of poise, especially the jumping heavies. If you see somebody jumping heavy with a broadsword, they have poise, and more than likely they're going to knock you out of your stuff. And running attacks. Running attacks with a power stance weapon, if you have a dual wield anything and you're doing running L1s, you're going to catch somebody rolling. It's almost universal for every weapon. There's only like a few exceptions where that's not the case. Running straight swords, you're roll catching. Running curved swords were notorious for roll catching everybody. That thing was damn near OP at a certain point. Running katanas, they're a little bit slower, but they still roll catch like crazy. Running twin spears, they have crazy range, some of the wildest range, and they roll catch. And the reason why is because it has that delay startup. You press it and it's not a right away, so by the time your roll ends, you're getting hit by the next move. You feel me? So try not to panic roll. If you're going to panic roll, or if you feel like you're in a position where you need to roll into them. Don't roll away from them, because if you roll into them and they're trying to chase you down, it at least increases the likelihood that you're going to end up behind them and they're going to miss, so you can at least attempt to reset the neutral game. On the flip side, you can't get too greedy. That's one of my things too. I try to if I feel like I can hit you out of your stuff, I'm going to try to hit you out of your stuff, because the way the game's set up, the game is set on a lot of patience. It's set up on a lot of patience and a lot of timing. So a lot of things that happen is really dependent on what the other player does. Sometimes you can just run in and you can throw out stuff to try and bait somebody to do something, and when they bait out somebody to do something, then you can roll into them and then do what you need to do. You feel me? That's normally what I do in most cases. But sometimes people know what's going on, so whenever you try to bait them, and good ways to bait people is really just a matter of throwing out your attacks and then dodging out the way, or throwing out your attacks and rolling into them, or getting real close to them, like walking up to them, like almost in their face, like you're about to do something, and then you end up like basically scaring them into doing something. You're scaring them into pressing a button, and the moment you do it, you react and you punish, and then you get the big damage, because the damage in this game is insane. Let's be honest. Do not get too greedy. If you feel like you're attacking and you're on the back, or if you feel like you're on the offensive, don't go too crazy, bro. There's another key element into what you do that can make or break your assault. You feel me? If you feel like you're in and you trade it with somebody and stuff like that, and you try to get off your attack and stuff, you can mess around and stun lock yourself. And the key thing that does this is poise. Poise is so important, because that determines whether or not, if you trade with somebody, that determines whether or not who's going to be able to continue doing their attacks. Now, the heavier weapon you got, the better your poise is when you're attacking. It also helps to have on certain items. I think the bull gold ring is called. It's good to have those type of items to beef up your poise. Make sure your poise is nasty. Make sure that your poise is high with your armor. You know, these things are important if what your game plan is to trade. If you feel like if you feel like you have to trade in certain situations, it's good to have high poise. I actually have a match that I'm going to show you pretty soon here, where I tried to trade with the guy multiple times, and he just kept hitting me. Because my poise wasn't high enough to break through his attack. And basically he kept winning the poise battle, and I ended up just constantly getting hit out of my own attack animations. I was stun locking myself. That was greedy on my part, and that's why I lost. I know that I didn't say I'm going to tell you how to use your weapons. I'm still not going to, because you can excel with any weapon in the game. But what I will say is, whatever weapons you do choose to pick up, you need to learn how to use them. You need to know the ins and outs of your weapons, because, and I don't mean just the normal attacks, the heavy attacks. You need to learn how it is to run an attack. You need to know if you need to be power stance in this weapon. You need to know what the special move is. And you need to know if there's any extra tricks you need to learn with the weapon. Perfect example, two-handed greatswords. For whatever reason, the poke animation, where you take the greatsword and you poke it at somebody, that normally you can do after a roll. You can actually use that out of crouching. So I've seen players where they just crouch and then they poke you, and they just repeat that process and try and stun lock you with the greatsword. It's such an unorthodox method, but it's almost like, I think you get extra poise with it or something, because I fought somebody and I could not beat him I couldn't beat him out of that animation. I was forced to roll out the way. I was forced to roll, like either roll through it or roll away, one of the two. Let's talk about parries real quick. Parries are nice, but the thing about parrying is it's a latency thing, and latency plays a lot of key roles too. That also goes into knowing your weapon, because latency also affects the status effects of certain weapon attacks. Have you ever had a situation where you're fighting somebody and you dodged their hit, you didn't take any damage, but you still get bleed buildup, poison, or whatever status effect they have on their stuff still hits you anyway? I've had that happen to me so many more times than I can count, and it's because of a latency issue. And that's just a fault of the soul. Like, that's been happening ever since Dark Souls. Like ever since Dark Souls multiplayer, or the Soulsborne multiplayer has been introduced, that has been a thing where you dodge and you're still getting hit with status effects. So I'll say this: whatever you think the parry window is, I know you're trying to get your timing down to hit the parry and stuff like that. First of all, if you're not using the golden parry or using the equivalent for the magic side, the magic parry, if you're not using those two, I don't know what you're doing with parrying, because those two have the largest parry window. So literally using anything else is making it harder on yourself if you want to parry. But whatever you think the parry window is, time it a half second earlier, half second to a second. So you think you should be pressing the L2 right as I'm swinging at you, right? Like right as it's about to hit you. Try pressing it as soon as they're up here with the sword. Do I need to bring my sword as an example? Let me bring my sword. Okay, I don't have my sword on me right now. It's upstairs. I don't feel like going to grab it. So we got my axe today. Don't be trying to parry me when I'm in your face like this with the axe like this. Don't be trying to parry me like this. You're either not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it, bro. You're not gonna get it. Why is there a spider web on my axe? Parry when I'm like this, coming to you. Like when I'm on the apex of this and I'm coming to you like this, as I'm somewhere between here, you need to be parried, and then you'll get your parries. Another really good thing about knowing your weapon and knowing your latency and stuff like that, it allows you to figure out stuff about certain weapons. Let's use a real prime example, Rivers of Blood. And I actually need to figure this out because when I came back to get some clips for this, I had a situation where I got hit with the ROB. I got hit with the ROB special. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, instant blood loss, and I'm dead. I got hit with that, so I thought, I have Rivers of Blood, but I don't use it. Let's use it and see what they do. You can parry those, bro. You can parry that. So it doesn't help to learn weapons whenever you're fighting somebody and they're using something, or say you run into a bunch of people and they're using something that you don't know how to deal with. It never hurts. It never hurts to see how that weapon is countered. And you can either do that by, like, if you don't have the equipment, like if you don't have the materials to level up that weapon, or you don't have the means to even get that weapon, bro, it never hurts to look it up. But if you have the materials and the if you have the materials and the resources, bro, go out, level that weapon up, and take it online a few times, bro. Somebody's gonna counter it, and when they do counter it, you're gonna know exactly what to do. All right, so real quick, before I go, I just wanted to show you guys a few examples of what I'm talking about right here. So this guy, he exposed what I was trying to do because as you guys can see right here, he has like a little poker. I don't even know exactly what that weapon is. I'm using a coated sword. But at this point in time, I thought that, he had the coated sword. I figured that I could outpoise him and use the coated sword, use the unblockable blade, and basically just cook him. I thought that I could trade and then, be able to get more damage, offset the damage he's doing to me, and then make it up. Mind you, I'm also at half health. And me trying to do that, I took a whole bunch of unnecessary damage for no reason. A lot of unnecessary damage. And then I tried to hit him, hit him with the unblockable blade, which this was like my first time using that sword in like since the last time I played PvP. That was my first time using the coated sword, which I have no idea. I don't have an idea how the sword even works like 100%. So I thought I was in range and I wasn't, and I paid the price for it. This is another good example of what I'm talking about when I say don't get tilted, because I feel like I have a right to be upset about this, but people are gonna be like this. People are gonna want to be toxic or whatever, and sometimes it just is what it is. But you can't let this stuff get in your head, because if you're trying to play this to have a fun time, then you shouldn't let stuff like this get to you. Just, if it's that bad, you can always just close that and just move on to the next game, or you could just let it rock out, or let them kill you any type of way. Like these things, bro, you gain nothing from playing like this, so you shouldn't be feeling any type of way or getting beaten by that, bro. Just let it rock for what it is, and keep going about your day, bro. This is the only time that I ran into this dude. This is the only time I ran into him, and this is the only time that I encountered somebody playing like this for the last few days I've been playing. So don't let a few bad apples ruin your time, bro. If it ever gets to that point, bro, don't ever be ashamed to take a break or something, bro. Play something else. So this is the guy who was actually really good with the two-handed sword. I'm not even 100% sure what I did here. Oh yeah, he was just really just playing, like he was really just playing patient and just waiting on me to come to him, for real. he was just using his poise to just take full advantage. And then, like I said right there, the crouching light attack, or the crouching stuff with the two-handed, it just outpoised my thing after I clearly hit him. So that caused the ill right there. But he was doing everything correctly for the most part. Like, I really didn't see not too much flaws in his game plan. And watch it one more time. He was outpoising me. And the moment that he had advantage, he was rolling correctly. I cannot stress that enough. Rolling correctly. He was rolling into me and rolling to the side. If you're gonna panic roll, that is how you should panic roll. Now I'm gonna finish that off. Now I'm gonna finish that segue off by showing you what not to do when you're rolling and how it can cost you. I really hate that it had to be this dude, because he's also a black flame user, and me being the black flame god, it does not bring me any joy to basically make an example out of one of my peoples. But for the sake of this video, I have to do it. So let me explain what happened and do the commentary from one. So what I'm using right now is I'm using two different halberds. Right now he's playing fine. He's cooking me with the spear, using the range and stuff like that, and he's also using the Black Flame Tornado as well. And I missed a roll right there. But I'm using dual halberds, one of them being the Ancient Dragon and the other one being just the Black Knight halberd. The reason why I'm using those is because I didn't have a second Black Knight halberd. That's really the only reason why I'm not using dual Black Knight halberds. But as you can see, I have the Black Flame Tornado on that. And right now we're just dodging in and out of everybody's stuff. My health is low, so I'm trying to play like really I'm playing like really cautious right now, just trying to catch them in the Black Flame Tornado, because I know that can just that can basically fix my health issues. But this is what I'm talking about right here. Notice how I'm rolling. Notice how I'm rolling right here. After the point where he stabs me the first couple times, right? After he stabs me the first couple times, my health is low. I make sure that each roll I do is with purpose. I'm rolling into him. I'm walking towards him. And he's rolling away. He has the health lead and he's rolling away. You know, there should be no reason for him to be scared. He should be on the offensive, right? So you see he's trying to do the stab, you know, the little stabby stab, but I see him crouching. I see him crouching right before he does it. And here we go. He's rolling away, rolling away, rolling away. You are burning your stamina. If I didn't have these dual halberds on, I would have easily been able to roll catch him and he would have died. I would have roll caught him twice and he would have been dead already. But since I have a slower thing, I can't just approach him like that. So I let it rock. And basically I was just approaching him, waiting for him to do something else, because he's gonna have to do something. His stamina was low. He's gonna have to do something. So he chose to go for this, since it caught me the last time. This time I'm prepared for it a little bit more. I got my timing down. Roll through it instantly. Roll through it instantly. At this point he has two options. He can sit back and wait. He can back up a little bit to see what I'm gonna do, because he already knows what skill I have. I have the Black Flame Tornado. That's what I'm finna do right now. I'm setting up the Black Flame Tornado. I rolled in him. I'm dead in his face. He should have sat back and sat to see if I was gonna do my skill. If I did, he would have had the right mind to roll away from me and be able to do it that way instead of rolling into me. His mindset was to roll past me and roll away that way. His mindset was to roll past me and roll away, which would have been fine if I was trying to chase him down and attack him. But instead he ends up getting caught because he didn't watch for my animation. That's what I'm saying. You have to roll with purpose. You can't just panic roll all the time. You know, you can't just, you know, panic roll to try and escape everything, because you're gonna either burn all your stamina, or you're gonna mess around and roll into something. You're gonna either run into a roll catch, or you're gonna roll into a special because you're not rolling the correct way. You have to pay attention to what your opponent is doing, and then you time your rolls accordingly. You know, and that's how you don't get caught in those shenanigans like this. He had me beat. My health was sitting like that for about a good 15-30 seconds. At least that's what it felt like in this little interaction. And it cost him. Because he didn't take advantage of it. He seen what I was doing and then ended up panic rolling away. Mind you, there's no disrespect to that dude or any of the people that I played or any of the people that I won or lost to. But that's not what this is about. This is just all about just helping everybody get better. People that feel like they can't play the PvP, these are just like the bare minimums that you need in order to universally grow at PvP, no matter what weapon you use, no matter what armor set you use, no matter what items you use. As long as you have a few universal key concepts and like key knowledges down, you'll be able to get some wins under your belt in PvP, bro. And then once you get them few little wins under your belt, you start learning, you start expanding, you see how it is to play against other people that are better than you, and you grow that way. It's almost like a fighting game, bro. You learn, you grow, you adapt, and eventually you'll become him. Nice talk, y'all. This has been your boy Golden Ghost, man. Get in the comment box, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, man, happy birthday to me. Your boy is 26, dog. But hey, man, that's all I got for y'all boys, and I'm out this thing, man. Deuces.